You're live. Good luck.
Alright, how is everyone doing tonight? Hello. Looks like we're ready to go then. I'll start the countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. So, this is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance. My name is Zinfogel, and today I'm gonna be showing you this fun little game that was released a few years ago. A lot of years ago, actually. This is for the Game Boy Advance, indeed. And this game is loosely based on the tier book for the franchise. Very loosely, you know, as for a lot of commercial games there is a lot of creative liberties to help enhance the game experience. But the most telling difference here is that we are in fact playing a turn-based RPG. There is actually in fact a whole bunch of Harry Potter game releases for a ton of consoles, yeah, for PC, for the PSX, you name it, and the handheld versions of the games are very different from the PC versions that you might be more accustomed to, which are 3D platform adventure games. So here we go, our boy Harry, you might be familiar with him, the boy who lived a wizard and everything in between. And so our journey begins as Harry got evicted from his abusive family to live in a tavern. I'm sure it's illegal for him to be here though, do not worry about that. And here we meet our dear friend Ron, who owns a pet rat called Scabbers. Scabbers is a little sick right now, he's not doing too well, so we're gonna help our friend Ron out by getting some medicine for his rat, and so our journey is going to start here. So first off, for dungeon navigation we can cast spells to help us defeat obstacles, and we also obtain random experience with everything we do pretty much. If you break a barrel, if you cross a passage, if you push a column, you're gonna get experience in this game, so we're gonna benefit from that quite a bit because we're gonna do minimal grinding. For the sake of marathon safety, I'm gonna be doing a few encounters on the first dungeon here. Because the boss of this area is actually very dangerous. He could destroy me if he so chooses, but with the extra level up that I'm gonna get before the boss, it is gonna make the battle a lot safer. And this is not gonna take more than 3 to 4 encounters to get us the level up, accounting for field experience as well. So it's just a slight investment to make sure that we don't get wrecked by the boss. So in regards to the battle system, I think somebody mentioned Golden Sun somewhere in there, and I'm pretty sure this game was largely inspired by Golden Sun. You got these weird Mode 7 backgrounds that can make you a little nauseous, but let's not worry about that too much. Okay, so a couple more battles to go, and that should be great to make Harry level up to 3. And then we can go on our merry way. So, for a combat, Harry, being a wizard, has access to a tremendous amount of spells. He can cast Flipendo, Incendio, he can electrocute the rats, vermin, whatever, you name it. But the thing about the combat in this game is that there isn't a big difference between your spellcasts more often than abusing enemy weaknesses. So some enemies are gonna be weaker to Flipendo, other enemies are gonna be more weak to Incendio, Verdimilius, and so on. So it's a matter of knowing what the enemies are weak to ahead of time in order to best capitalize off of our limited MP pool. And no, unfortunately we cannot conjure sandwiches. That's a limit that our boy Harry has. That's too advanced for wizardry. Alright, I'm gonna stay quiet a little bit here to listen to an audio cue, because if there is a door that we gotta cross there, and if I didn't listen to it, I would need to use Lumus and look like a fool trying to find it. But we got the boss coming up, and I'm gonna do a safety save. You can never beat to save. Because even with the level up, this boss can still destroy me if he chooses, so... A warp does nothing more than restart me to the beginning of the dungeon. So we wanna avoid that travel if we are unfortunate enough to die at the boss. But here we got the giant rat. You can tell that is some pollen medicine right there, but this guy is very dangerous. Because if I am level 2, he can just kill me. Oh, wow, good crit, good crit. If I am level 2, this guy can kill me with a couple high rolls and just end my run right there. RTA has to deal with that trend break, just resetting over and over and over again until the giant rat decides to let us through. But we got lucky with that crit there, kind of makes up for the fact that we went after the giant rat. Sometimes you can get lucky and go before it. But yeah, crits are one of the 2 ruling forces of this game. Whenever I get a crit, it saves me 20 seconds or so. So we're hoping for lots of crits. So, let's deliver the medicine. Our boy Scabbers is back in tip-top shape now. And we made our next party member, Hermione. She's also got a pet. And these little rascals are quite naughty and will cause a ruckus we need to solve. So, this is the first time we'll get to choose party members. The game likes doing this a lot. It usually gives you split paths that you can only cross with each with a specific party member, and every single person in your party will have a unique array of spells only they can cast, just to aid with dungeon exploration. So, we're gonna go open up this bridge again with Harry. That bridge is not physically present until I use a Lumos spell, so... That's why I always gotta cast it, even though the bridge is technically there, but not really. I don't know, the game makes no sense. So we're picking the Hermione path because it's quite faster than Ron is... Share. Ron has to go down there on that super narrow hallway. And it's just full to the brim with enemies and that are impossible to dodge, while Hermione barely gets any randos, so this path is a lot safer, a lot quicker. So from now on, I'm not gonna be killing enemies. Any encounters I get are accidental. So a large part of saving time in this game is understanding enemy behavior in order to dodge things. Enemies can get really rude and mean. So yeah, now we have retrieved our pets, and it's time for a school year to start. We are here at the Hogwarts Express, just trying to arrive at the school. For now we can rest a little bit and meet our good boy Lupin, who happens to be the professor for Defense Against the Dark Arts this year. And surely nothing terrible will happen to him. We can only hope. However, the train comes at an abrupt end, and it is our duty to try and find a solution, because there is no competent adults in this universe, as you will soon tell. Pretty much any minor inconvenience will be solved by our dudes here. Oh no, things are getting spooky. Be careful, guys. What is going on? It's a spooky ghost! Harry has a diabetic coma or something, I'm not sure what's going on. But we gotta take care of that Dementor, we cannot let him through here! But there is nothing else we can do, we cannot leave. All the doors are locked. Can the Dementor get through? Unfortunately, Lupin just repels him by shooing him away, so no worries guys, we were fine, it's all alright. So for this part, we have to do 2 things. We need to tell the conductor of the train to get rolling again, And we also need to get some chocolate to help raise Harry's sugar levels. We are quite literally doing that. We're getting chocolate for Harry to help with his sugar levels. So Ron has the latter task. Ron gets the easier part of the two, or the fastest for the matter, because he only has like one bagon of exploration and then he can get the chocolate. While Hermione has to go back through the train tracks, and the hallways are littered with enemies now, so it's a lot more difficult to explore. So yeah, we're gonna take the Ron pad here. We just get a slightly tougher boss in exchange, but that's quite alright. There is enough to take care of as it is. Okay, just dodge that rando and get some delicious chocolate. And I'm also gonna detour to obtain a pepper potion here. This is the MP restoration item of the game. That pepper potion restores MP by 20 points, which is gonna come in handy for when I deplenish my MP during a boss battle and need to keep spamming potent spells. So, just a slight leak of the chocolate and Harry's back in action. And we have arrived at Hogwarts, our central hub for the remainder of the game. We also meet our good friend Malfoy. He seems like a good fellow. But now we need to get a start here. Get to our common room, unpack all that good stuff. And I'm also going to take a few chests that contain chocolate frogs. Chocolate frogs are like a collectible that have effects in battle. They don't come into play until the very end of the speed run, but they have a potent array of effects that will make Harry OP in due time. But for now, I don't have access to a whole lot of chocolate frogs, but I will be collecting a few just to help us out on early game. All of these treasures we're collecting are investments more than anything else, just to help speed up bosses as they come. So, we have arrived at the Gryffindor common room. And McGonagall, the teacher there, is warning us about sick criminals set on the loose, hell-bent on killing Harry for some reason. We're not gonna worry about that too much though. The adults in this game are competent, right? Right? Okay. First day of classes, my friends. What do you think the first class is going to be? We got a busy schedule today that covers 5 topics. And on casual play, you're gonna have a really hard time finding the classes because there is no directions whatsoever to where they are located. You don't even get a floor or anything to tell you where they are, so it's quite a pain to try and find them. Not quite. Our first class for the day is Transfiguration. It's right over here. And McGonagall happens to be our Transfiguration teacher as well. She's gonna flex her knowledge on us by turning into a cat. This is a depiction of my Twitch chat most days. But us not being amused or impressed by McGonagall's antics. I'm sure her students have seen this a billion times. Now we are tasked with solving the Transfiguration maze, because obviously every class has a maze to solve. And we are forced into the Harry-Hermione lineup here. So there is some funky things going on with the Flipendo cast. This dungeon is pretty much a Flipendo solving dungeon, so... One thing about Flipendo is that the hitbox is very large, and anything it collides with will interact with Flipendo. So what I'm gonna try to do here is push 2 columns at once by casting Flipendo right in the middle, just to speed up the process. Also try to dodge enemies. Enemies are gonna block Flipendo casts, so I also gotta be cautious about launching things onto them. Okay. Just one more. Alright. That's pretty good. That room had a lot of randos. I'm surprised I didn't get an encounter there. Okay. Oh, look at those. It's our good friends, Crab and Goyle. We're gonna make a backup. Just in case they decide to play a little too rough with us. But here we go, the Crab and Goyle. Crab is the shorter one, Goyle is the taller one. We want to kill Goyle as much as possible. And for the purposes of surviving on the battle, we're going to employ Hermione's special text for this. Also, please forgive me, because this card is super loud. But I need that card to deal AoE damage to these guys and speed up the battle a little, so I hope you can forgive me for that, chat. Hermione has a very manly chin more than a mustache, at least from the looks of it. So I want to kill Goyle as much as possible. As quickly as possible, pardon me, because he deals more damage than Crab, so he's an immediate trade. Ugh. Also, Crab is weaker to a more cost-effective spell, so we need to get rid of Goyle as fast as possible. Oh, so what Hermione did at the start of the battle there is one of her buffing techs. Hermione specializes in buffing the party. She can buff once per battle, while waste of a crit. And I decided to buff her defense for this one. But yeah, with Goyle gone, this should be a lot easier. It doesn't matter if Harry dies at the end of battle, he will still get his share of experience. Alright, that's fine. Hermione can take cover. Just one more birdie Milius and we should be down here. Unless something terrible happens, like myself missing and then getting critted, but such is the fate of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance. Anyway, we got a really tight level up there with Hermione. So it's very important that we level up after every boss, because whenever you level up, you get a free MP and HP restoration. So a big part of routing this game is managing your experience so you get a replenish before every major battle of the game. And there is McGonagall just hanging beside some boxes like any good cat would. And thus we have successfully completed our Transfiguration class for the day. And McGonagall rewarded us with Petrificus Totalus. That is our first buffing spell, or status spell that we get. Petrificus Totalus paralyzes a target from anywhere from 1 to 3 turns. And this amount of paralysis is random, I don't have any say on the matter. But it's a very great tool to give myself more space to set myself for bosses. And buff, restore HP, you name it. Okay, our next class is Magical Creatures, and we find out that somebody sabotaged the class, because we don't have any books to learn from. We need to read. We need knowledge so... the books we lost happened to be sentient, and they were spread across the forest behind Hagrid's hut, and he is asking us, as friends, to go retrieve the books for him. Because evidently he cannot do anything. Remember, the adults are very competent. But yeah, he granted everybody with their own unique spell. The first of which we're gonna show on this battle. I'm gonna use Hermione's other buffing technique, which is raising party experience after the end of battle. This is gonna guarantee that I level up, accounting for field experience and whatnot. So, we're gonna fight 5 Monster Book of Monsters, and these guys happen to be weak to Diffindo. That's the spell that Hagrid gave to Harry. Diffindo is not great. But it just so happens that a lot of bosses are weak to it. And so it's a great killing tool, but on casual play it's like complete garbage because it never works on anything. So what can we do about it? Oh, good crit, good crit. Oh, we didn't actually speed up the battle too much, but can use a flip pendor here. Just finish off the book, and there he goes. Wait, aren't we supposed to collect this? Oh, no anymore. But I think that's the first spell. The second spell we got from Spongify for Run. Spongify is a very handy spell because it's a debuff that cuts enemy damage in half when you use it. And I'm gonna be playing very under leveled, so that's gonna be a great filter to help me. Oh, that Defendo cut is a little tough to get. If you position yourself just right, you can all those cobwebs on the same cast. So, alright, here's the second book. It's functionally the same as the first book, so I'm gonna be taking advantage of the fact and work some experience here while I can. So, well, we got a Spongify, and then Hermione got a spell called Glacius. Glacius is it's another elemental form of damage. Some enemies happen to be more weak to it, but it's really costly. It's 15 MP per cast, which is almost half of my current MP pool, so I rarely use it, but there is a battle where it does come in handy. Now, this game was developed by EA, but I think they straight up plagiarized Golden Zombie. Alright. Was Golden Sun in this marathon? This is how we can relive the experience. That's the second book. Okay. We need a Spongify to jump over this gap, and more Defender. If I do this just right... Okay, I didn't get it. With some careful positioning, I can cut all those cobwebs at once. And we need to flee from this random. Good. There we go. Something like that for all 4 cobwebs, but I couldn't pull the position quite right. Maybe the enemy was interfering. It's too late for that, though. So for these next battles, I don't need experience as much anymore. So what I'm gonna do is buff Harry. I'm gonna give him as much attack as possible. With proper one technique. That boosts any form of damage by 25%, so that's gonna make up for some turns. That's gonna cut down some turns thanks to extra damage. Okay. And one Incendio should do the trick, provided run doesn't miss. There we go. Alright. There's a couple more books to go. Each one goes faster and faster because we start getting more damage per cast. Every time we level up, our spells also become stronger. For this one, I don't have enough spell for Defendo casts, but still, strengthening Defendo is certainly the way to go. Because it's the best tool we have to damage the books. What do you mean, guys? This is Golden Sun 3. I know I took out a part 2 from the series, but it's close enough. Alright. We got a level up on Harry so he can get back on the Findocasts. Let's do this, another Glacius, and push this boulder. Now for a chest, it doesn't contain anything useful, and here's the final book. If we defeat this, finally the class will have access to knowledge. Oh, Ronnie's Wizard Cracker technique, that deals a fixed 20 damage whenever I use it, but it has the property of never missing, and I hate missing in this game. So it's just like the one-time use of having guaranteed damage no matter what on an enemy. I think I can kill the bug with a Flipendo from this range. Ah! Run! What are you doing, man? There he goes. I never thought I would see the day. Alright, we're gonna save before this boss, because you never know what could happen. I can always get created to oblivion on any boss battle, which we don't want to see. This game is really fun. I love it. Like, I know that it has its visual shortcomings, but I have a blast whenever I just turn this on. I don't get tired of it for some reason. Okay. So for this battle, I'm gonna use Petrificus Totalus we run. Just to buy Harry some more time. We need to restore Harry's magic points. So I don't want the boss waiting on me while Harry doesn't do anything useful. Okay. I think they had like a single character, a single artist per portrait, because all the art styles are so different. Not sure what happened with those. If you look in the game files, there is like some rips of the main three, like with a very cartoony style of portrait, and we could have a lot of expressions. But I just toss that away for these portraits instead. I mean, they are amusing to look at, but what can I say? Alright, one more Incendia and that ought to do. We got very lucky, we got 3 paralysis turns with Petrificus Totalus. That just guarantees our safety on the battle. Alright, perfect. We get a level up on everybody, which is what matters. And we had successfully collected all the books. Here you go, Harry. Off you go. Alright. This is magical creatures, which means we're gonna go meet the creatures that are magical. Can you believe that? So we're gonna meet our good boy here, the friendly neighborhood hippogriff, Buckbeak. What a majestic creature. Buckbeak, however, doesn't like rude people, so he slashes Malfoy, bleeding him to death. No, I think he just scratched him a little bit, and Malfoy is being a baby about it, but knowing Malfoy, there will be consequences. In the meanwhile, we can hang out with Buckbeak. This is cool, he's bonding with Harry. And we got a minigame we can promptly exit and totally ignore our relationship with Buckbeak here. Yeah, this game is littered with mini-games here and there, but you don't actually need to complete them or get a high score or anything to progress with the plot. You can just exit all mini-games right away. So, our next class is Potions, with our favorite teacher, Snape. And I hope you all are ready for this, because you've been talking about Hermione and Ron's portraits and whatnot, but they are nothing compared to Snape. So I'm gonna let you guys absorb this for a second, just to truly appreciate his beauty. Oh baby. Snape's portrait never gets old, dude. It never gets old. Okay, for this path we're gonna do Ron and Hermione. This is a marathon safe path, because this will give me access to Spongify for the boss, which helps quite a bit. With survivability on that. But it is slower, and it has a lot more enemies. Ugh. And also the Spongify tiles always force me in a specific landing spot, so if there is an enemy crawling under it, there isn't much I can do to dodge it. Okay, behave, thank you. So the downside to this part is that I get a ton more enemies, but the boss is almost guaranteed. Okay. For this class, we have to collect items in the potion maze, because remember, every class has a maze. But we gotta collect these ingredients to concoct a potion. So, while we're doing that, we're also grabbing some very strong chocolate frogs we will employ later. Those are gonna come in handy. I'm glad y'all appreciate Snape's portrait as much as I do. Oh boy. Oh, so fun fact, both paths you can take on this dungeon are have exclusive content. There is a unique chocolate frog that you can only collect on each path, which means that if you want to go 100% this game, you have to New Game Plus no matter what. So you can go onto the other path and collect the other chocolate frog. Maybe this is for some safety on the boss. Go. And again, I gotta save, because you never know when a crit might snag me. I have no means of reviving my party members, so if they die, that's it, like... They are done, so dude. Okay, for this one we're gonna buff Hermione, because Glacius is my strongest form of damage right now, and we're going to Petrificus Totalus to buy me some time. Hopefully enough, so I can deal half of this guy's health worth in hit points before he starts attacking again. And we're going to use a Spongify. Remember, Spongify cuts enemy damage in half. So just how that guy dealt 50 damage, that is far more than I can take right now. But with a Spongify, that's gonna be cut in half to a much more bearable amount. The Harry path for this boss is far more punishing. You have to do this battle without a Spongify, so you just gotta hope and pray that this guy gets a ton. Oh, good great! Gets a ton of paralysis turns, so you can keep up with the damage. Okay, let's restore Hermione's MP so she can can keep casting spells. Have we used this yet? Not yet. Okay, one more spell and this guy can go away. Oh! Run! Run is down! I repeat, run is down! Okay, leave me alone, dude. calm down. You gotta calm down there, buddy. Whew. Alright, last ingredient. You can tell I collected them all because I got some experience. On one run, I left this place without without collecting all the ingredients, and Snape just tossed me back into the dungeon to find things, and I was really confused. So, I could do a dead warp strat here if my characters didn't level up. I could try to find a rando and have them killed if I am low enough of health, but that's gonna take an eternity. It's just simpler to go back to the entrance. A dead warp here will teleport me back to the entrance of the dungeon. You cannot leave this place until you complete the potions requirements. Alright, it's time to get mixing. Gonna make the best potion of all time to impress Snape. With the help of our good friend, the sentient Game Boy SP. Ta-da! And for troubles, Snape teaches the party Wingardium Leviosa. It's almost useless. Nothing is weak to it, so don't think about it too much. Every class is amazing. Alright, I'm detouring for safety. I'm gonna get this, which is gonna help later. In RTI, I would never grab that. I am taking a lot of creative liberties for the safety of the marathon. This game is an RNG nightmare if it feels like it do that. I know I'm sounding very paranoid, but it's what happened we run there, and that can happen on PvPs, on like the start of the battle. So I thought that this game has taught me to respect it. Anyway, we are at Dark Arts, at the teacher's lunch for some reason, I don't know why. But in this class, Lupin is teaching his students to defend against their biggest fears. But Harry's a little salty here that he couldn't partake in the activity. That's because Lupin knows that Harry's biggest fear are Dementors, these poopy ghosts we saw earlier. And that is far too dangerous for the class to handle, so he's gonna give Harry some private lessons later to give him a more potent spell to defend against the mentors, but that offer still stands. It's gonna take a bit before we can actually get that spell. But yeah, we're gonna regroup, just take our lunch break, chill for a little bit at the Gryffindor common room. Oh boy! Can you guess it? Crookshanks and Scabbers are back doing their naughty things. If somebody could play some Benny Hill music right now, that would be great, thank you. Alright, we're gonna find Scabbers. You can take either the upper or the right path here. It doesn't matter, there's like 2 copies of Scabbers and you're gonna grab either one, but the upper path is a tiny bit faster. So, coming back, we find that the lady protecting the Gryffindor common room is absent. Every door in this castle, maybe, I don't know, that's... I'm not a Harry Potter law professional, unfortunately. But most of the common rooms in the castle are guarded by a portrait, and only they can let people in and out at all times. It's like a 24/7 security guard. We gotta go find the lady because not a single teacher is available to help with this. But she's down here. So here the portrait lady tells us that there was a spooky guy, Sirius Black, the wanted criminal, terrorizing the castle grounds, and more reason for concern, you know? This is going to jeopardize the safety of the students. But surely the teachers can take care of this. We're not gonna wind up solving this or anything. Okay, we're gonna go back to the common room though. This is one of the very few instances where using the grand staircase is faster than taking the portrait shortcuts. Because they got a handful of transitions and like our positioning is just right to save a second by going through the grand staircase there. When finding the lady. Okay. Alright, moving on with the schedule, we got one more class to take care of, and that is Dark Arts. So let's check it out. However, we find that, oh boy, Snape OP is actually taking over for Lupin. Oh man, Lupin didn't even last an hour teaching in this school. Shame. But our next task is research. We're going to research on lycanthropy. And for that, we're going to do some good old-fashioned reading at the local library in order to learn more about werewolves. So for this part, we got 4 pages to collect across the library, because as you guys did, it's been torn apart and we have to fix it. Nothing new. So we're gonna hang in here a little bit, trying to fix that book and complete our homework. But I love the music for this place; it's so soothing. This game has a really good soundtrack, dude. Considering the other shortcomings of the game, like, and the GBA sound font, this is really solid. Yeah, man, I am skipping gigantic portions of the castle. There is floors I never visit that are chock full of enemies. But we're just completing plot triggers and getting across the game as quickly as possible. Oh, my bad. I confused this with the Perflar. I gotta go take this Spongify plant. Okay, gotta dodge that enemy. It's a magic. Don't think about it too much. If you have any queries about the physics of this game, it's just magic. Come on, dude. Just let me go. A couple more pages remain. Alright. For this book, we're gonna showcase our entire spell repertoire. Harry's gonna be our DPS thanks to Diffindo. He has the strongest DPS out of anybody. And the other two are gonna work support. That is a great miss, thank you so much. I was very afraid for Harry's HP on that going. The Book of Monsters can deal upwards of 80 damage without a Spongify, so it hurts. It hurts quite a bit. That's the damage he deals without Spongify. We are trading we're trading on danger here. I don't know, dude. There is one thing I need to solve in this game is knowing when crits are going to happen, because if I knew, it would solve my life, dude. I'm not concerned about Ron surviving the battle. He's already done his job by casting a Spongify. Hermione and Harry can pick up from here. I'm gonna risk a miss here. That could be really bad. Because I don't have much in the ways of MP restoration. Oh wow! My boy! Ron hanging on a prayer. Let's go. Come on, Harry, show her how it's done. There we go. I was a little worried there, not gonna lie. We were missing a lot. I lost a minute on that battle due to misses. That just means that the enemy has more chances to attack me. Oof, almost landed on that enemy there. Alright. Simple defeat the puzzle, and here we can find the last book page, and also the most important card in the game. Or one of the most important cards in the game, if I recall correctly. I don't know. I just collect all the chests I need. But this area has two extremely important chocolate frogs that make the endgame possible. I'm gonna explain it in due time though, because chocolate frogs don't come into play until like a little bit, when I actually have the frogs to employ the combinations. Also, shout out to Ron walking through the table. Truly a wizard of great caliber. So we're just gonna let Hermione take care of the essay. And you'll know, on group projects there is always the one person who does 90% of the thing and the other two who get a free pass through the class. Hermione doesn't mind, it's just what she does. Look at that, a spear on any percent essay. She completed that on her way here. That's amazing. This is acceptable. Alright guys, I'm sorry about it. This is about one of the last times we see a Snape in the run. Hope you enjoyed his stay. Right, but our schedule for the day is done. We have completed all our classes. Let's go chill back at the Gryffindor common room. Check it out. With a gift here. Harry supposedly casts Wingardium Leviosa, but the budget wasn't good enough to animate it, so it happens on screen. But Harry receives a Fireball broom. And mind you, a Fireball is not a thing anybody gets. Think of it as somebody giving you the keys to a Mercedes for nothing. So this is a little sketch, but nonetheless, we're gonna enjoy this while we can. I'm gonna show it off to Hagrid. I'm sure he can be happy alongside us in this. Alright, so when this is happening, I kinda wanna talk about the development of this game, because I'm sure y'all are having a good time enjoying the terrible graphics and whatnot. So it happens that a friend I have who studies game dev, his teacher actually worked on the development of this game, and as he told me that as with most commercial games, they were running on a deadline. Like, you know how quickly the Harry Potter books were coming every couple years or whatever, I don't know. So they needed to produce games quickly in order to milk them for their commercial worth while they were still relevant. So like, you can see traces of a very good game here. Like, you see the battle mechanics, you got debuffs, you can strategize, you got party members with unique characteristics, you got equipment. I have never equipped anything, but there is that. So I'm kind of like disappointed with the Pro because it could have been so much better. Oh well. There's gotta be more backtracking here, and trust me, in around 5 minutes the game is gonna go ham on me. The game is just going nuts on us. It's gonna be boss after boss after boss. Alright, so when we were back at Hagrid's hut, what happened is that Buckbeak is being scheduled for execution. Remember that Malfoy doesn't like Buckbeak, so he wants to punish him by dying. That's something Malfoy would do. So we're going to research and become hippogriff lawyers. We found a hippogriff law book there, and we are about to become animals' rights activists in order to help out Buckbeak survive. But unfortunately, with our research, it doesn't look like we can do enough. This is outside of the scope of law, and we are merely waiting for Buckbeak's execution date. But hey, it's Christmas! Let's go have some Christmas dinner. Delicious. We got McGonagall here. She knows about the Fireball broom, and she's like, Joe, dude, that thing might be cool. You just don't get a Mercedes out of nowhere. So she's gonna confiscate it for a little bit. Hermione is just materialized instantly. We got a Candy Crush. I don't mean to play this, thank you. We got a Candy Crush replica there in order to celebrate Christmas dinner, but we don't have time for that. It's a speedrun. We need to go fast. Now, Lupin approached us to initiate our Dementor defense training. Dementors take a particular liking to Harry for reasons we don't know yet, so it's good that he has options against them. So he's going to teach Harry the spell Expecto Patronum that we are not going to internalize by skipping the minigame altogether. But that's that. Alrighty. What a tough day, dude. What a tough day. We had to traverse through no less than 5 dungeons. Find our pets throughout the castle. Learn a whole bunch of spells in a single day. Quite an exhausting schedule. So we can take some well-deserved rest at the Gryffindor common room. McGonagall found nothing wrong with the fireball, so she's gonna return it to us, and we're gonna have a Quidditch match. Also, Ron is angry at Hermione because her cat apparently ate the scabbers. I don't know anymore. But the Quidditch game happened here off-screen because we didn't have the budget. Harry just totally smashed. He made a fool out of Draco. I trust the game in telling me this. Alright, but we find that Ron has an episode of schizophrenia. His bed is torn to pieces, and he thinks that Sirius Black is behind this. Remember that murderer we were afraid of at the very start of the game? He's now exacting his plan. What plan it is, I'm not sure. But I suppose this is a warning. Just destroying the ugly drapery. Can we get an F for scabbers, please, dude? Alright, I sorry guys, one more cutscene and then we can get to the use of the game. The end game is nerve-wracking and it's so full of action. As far as this game can take action. But we are going to gaze into the moonlight. What a beautiful night out. And we find Crookshanks, this is Hermione's cat, hanging out with a wolf. I mean, you do you, I suppose. You can have friends. So, it's a new day. A new schedule awaits us. But we find a note beside Harry's bed. This note is from Hagrid, and it says that Buckbeak is to be executed tonight. Is there anything we can do to save Buckbeak? We gotta help him out, dude. He slapped Malfoy. He's a homie, dude. He's part of the squad. We gotta save him. We cannot let this happen. Alright. So we're gonna take our first and last shopping trip, and I need to save because we actually have a shopping RNG. But trust me, it's not as bad as it looks, it's just a safety... It's not as bad as it sounds, it's just a safety precaution. So, I'm gonna be selling absolutely everything I obtain on this journey to stock up on some cash. And the first thing I'm going to do is buy a whole bunch, some pepper potions to restore MP later. And I'm going to liquidate all my assets and promptly buy all the chocolate frogs that money can buy. And I need to see if I got the right combinations, which is why I safety save there. Okay. Okay. Alright. This looks great. Okay, we can work with this. So, whenever you buy a chocolate frog from the twins, you have a random chance of getting any of the cars available in the game that aren't the special cars. And we need a whole bunch of those in order to cast car combinations. And these are gonna be the crux of our setups for the late game bosses. Because Harry is gonna get overpowered. He's going to show people why he's the protagonist of the franchise. But the chocolate frogs have a wide array of effects. Harry can now revive people, he can replenish HP to max, he can replenish MP to max, he can also damage, he can boost the defense, he can boost the experience the whole party gets. Anything, you name it, dude, Harry can do it. There's no stopping him. Alright. I don't need to save yet. So, they did it! Buckbeak is dead and we couldn't do anything, dude. So guys, are you ready for voice acting? Because Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance has voice acting. Enjoy. Oh baby. AAA quality right there. Anyway, we gotta save Ron. Oh no! Okay, here's the next boss, the Whomping Willow. This battle is pretty tough. The first thing we're going to do is use Girdinal. Girdinal is the effective equivalent of using Spongify. It's gonna boost my party defense to the point where enemies deal half damage. So yeah, look at that. That would have dealt 80 damage without Girdinal. We just don't have the levels to handle that at all. So that's the first step. The second step is we're going to use the extra experience card combination, which will boost the experience we get off of this battle by 50%. And notice my level, I am level 12, the Whomping Willow is level 50, so we may or may not be slightly under leveled than what the game intends for us at the moment. But yeah, that's the setup for the battle. Now we're going to use Harry for primary offense. The Whomping Willow is a 3, so you can expect that he's weak to getting caught. I don't know. I think that's a quality that 3s have. But yeah, at level 12, Harry barely has enough juice to cast 4 Defindo spells, so I'm gonna be relying on that. While Hermione covers with Incendio. I am hoping Hermione uses Incendio enough times for something cool to happen. You can prevent forest fires, but not deforestation. You can do that, boy. Okay, so this time that we gotta restore Harry's MP. I'm not too worried about Hermione, because if Hermione dies, Harry can use Revive her at max health anyway. Like I said, Harry is OP, like he's the one person in the party who cannot die by any circumstances. Okay, I'm gonna heal Harry, because I fear that the book is gonna snipe me with a crit at that range. Which I had happen in other wrong ones. I got cocky and let the book attack me when Harry could survive another hit, but then the 3 crit me. I've died in so many ways in this game, dude. It's insane. More of those are good though. More misses. I like those. Alright. This is an issue, okay, yeah. There we go. And the Whomping Willow goes away. Even though he's clearly rooted in the ground and cannot move whatsoever. Shut up to this game. I don't know, dude, it's magic. Okay, so we're now at the Shrieking Shack. This is where Ron got kidnapped. We gotta save him, because he's our friend, and I guess we have moral obligation. Okay, these hallways are fairly wide. Like I can dodge enemies if they just stay by a side of the path. Okay. We're gonna take the Harry path. It's quite faster. I think Hermione gets some ice puzzles and she has to push barrels into buttons or something to clear a path. I don't know, I haven't done that path since I was a teenager, so I don't remember what it is. But I know that Harry is much more easier, and he could also use experience. You'd be surprised that those 3 level ups almost double my MP pool. They're gonna help with the next boss quite a bit. And truth be told, the game mechanics are not that difficult where I need to grind a ton in order to handle bosses. At these levels I can do just fine, like I can survive a few hits here and there if I sell myself properly. I don't want to get overconfident, but as you know, Hogwarts is always a speedrunner's biggest shortcoming. Yeah, for this next puzzle, you'll see that there is some water fountains down there. We're gonna push 3 levers in order to clear a path for Glacius to do its thing, and if I am fast enough... There we go. If I am fast enough with my movement there, I can cross all those bridges with only a single Lumos cast. So it saves a little bit of time from having to recast Lumos again. Those bridges are not present until I cast Lumos, so that's why you need the spell active. Alright. I want to be very cautious with enemies here, like if I have to wait 5 seconds to dodge an enemy, it's worth it. Because these are endgame enemies. And they can deal about 50 damage per hit. And most of the enemies in this dungeon also have a paralyzing effect endowed into their attacks. So they can disable me and prevent me from running away, and it's bad times all around. Let's see if I can cross. Come on, come on! Ah! Nice, dude. It's very satisfying to get the Lumos cross without recasting it. Oh dude, this game is an RNG nightmare, you have no idea. This game is total RNG, like... you think you're on PvP pace and then you miss and a boss crits you killing Hermione or whatever. It's not healthy for grinding. So we got a nice puzzle here, but we can break it with diagonal movement because the devs didn't think of that. Just reset the room to get some friendlier enemies there. Okay. Come on. There's not much I can do there. Pretty much any path I could take will get me an enemy. Okay, wow, the enemies are being very kind right now. I haven't gotten hit a single time in all these encounters. Wow. Alright, but we cleared all the levers, so we can continue through the Shrieking Shack. Try and rescue run. I'm not sure how he crossed this path without Glacius, but hey. It's magic, let's not think too hard about it. So here we get a lot of big plot reveals. We find Ron with a Scabbers, who is alive, evidently. And Sirius Black, the famed criminal, ready to eviscerate Harry. No, just kidding. He's actually Harry's uncle, and has been trying to get a hold of Harry because he's his only relative left alive. And we find out that the media have portrayed Sirius as a criminal when he's not done much wrong. I don't know. But we also find that Scabbers is actually a criminal undercover who is working for Voldemort, I think. I know, dude. I'm not a Harry Potter professional. I'm gonna please ask for your forgiveness. But yeah, we find that Scabbers is not quite who he was, and Ron is a little depressed because he found his only friend, his beloved pet, turned out to be just an undercover spy to check out what Harry does. It's a shame, but hey. But yeah, we can now leave this place. Oh, he's his godfather. Okay, okay. Thank you, please. Correct me if I am misspeaking about the very... oh, I almost dodged that one. Correct me if I am misspeaking about the game, because I don't remember the plot very well, honestly. Dogfather. There you go. He's a wolf, dude. I tried grinding this for all record, and I had it for a couple weeks, but then SimStart took it back and got 5 crits on the final boss, and it's basically impossible to beat now. I grinded this every day, but I got tired because it's so much RNG, dude. Okay, we got another river troll, but this one is dangerous. It's far beefier than the one we battled earlier. First off, we gotta set up a Guildinol to cut enemy damage in half. So this battle is actually survivable. $52 damage. Oh man, that would be 100 without Guildinol. Yikes. Oh wow, good crit, good crit. Okay, but that was a mistake. I wasn't supposed to use Glacius there, but I was still on autopilot for the other river troll. What I need to do is keep casting Incendio until Hermione can upgrade the spell. So there it is. So there's actually a point system whenever you use a spell. If you use a spell enough times, you can get the upgraded version of it. And Incendio Duo is the only spell I can realistically obtain. It's slightly stronger than Incendio Uno. It's like 20% stronger and costs 20 MP. But I have the MP to be able to use it. But it's the best damage I have. So if we got lucky with a crit here, that would be really, really good for us. Okay, we're gonna. Hermione needs some help there, so let's restore her MP. Let's also hope that she doesn't die, because that means that the MP restoration would have gone to waste. Oh no, actually I haven't run any of the other GBC games. I would have liked to, but it's just... I like this game a lot more, because it's what I played when I was younger, and I got a lot of nostalgia for it. Because I actually haven't played the other Game Boy Color games. But this is like a game I can always jump back to and enjoy. Okay. Oh wow. He almost sniped Hermione there. What a guy. Let's see. We gotta make a trade-off here. Do I do another Incendio Duo? No, I think it's better to keep using Incendios. This guy is almost dead, and restoring MP is a bit of a waste of time on these conditions. Okay, but you know what? Like, so far, most of the boss battles have been going very well. Decent RNG, the Monster Book of Monsters at the library was a trend breaker because of the misses, but besides that, I don't have major complaints about this run, RNG-wise. I didn't use extra experience on this battle because I only get 50 experience out of it, and it's like a negligible difference or something. It's something like that. Like I just remember when I routed this game for experience, doing extra experience on that one just wasn't worth it. Alright, but we find Snape, and he dies. No, just kidding, he's just unconscious. That is the last time we'll see Snape's portrait. Please press F to pay respects. Rest in peace, Snape OP. So there's a whole bunch of things that happened here on a cutscene that I skipped. Lupin turned into a werewolf and attacked the party. The mentors attacked all of us, and Sirius, and he got taken to Azkaban. Ron is dead. He's decommissioned for the rest of the game. And now we're back in here. And Dumbledore gives Hermione the A-OK to use save states like a true cheater. No, just kidding. She's had this trinket called the Time Turner this entire time. This allows her to travel through time. Like, she can just rewind it a few times and go back a couple hours, like no big deal, dude. And this is why she's been completing schoolwork at an extraordinary pace, and just materializing out of nowhere, stuff like that. But Dumbledore gave us permission to use a time turner to correct the mistakes of the past, We're back at the Hogwarts grounds, and we'll attempt to save Buckbeak, save the party, and everything else, and all the terrible things that happened tonight. So, we find Buckbeak, and we are gonna free him from the shackles of his fate. Now, that's part 1 of our plan. The next part is ensuring the safety of the party when Lupin randomly transforms into a werewolf. So that's the second thing we'll take care of. Alright. So you might notice I am 2 party members. Ron is never gonna come back, dude. He's dead forever. But we gotta battle Lupin. Just on our side. Is there somebody who can help us against this giant threat? Why, indeed, Buckbeak, or boy Buckbeak, is going to be assisting us against Lupin on this battle. And this music is so good, dude. It's so good. Let's go. Alright, for this battle, we're going first off to use extra experience, because this guy gives a top, like 2,000 experience points or something like that. Oh no, he gets a bunch. We want to take all the experience we can get, so we can defeat the final boss after this. So, Buckbeak here, he has a lot of special rules to him. The first rule of this battle is that Lupin is only going to target Buckbeak and nobody other than Buckbeak. And also he has maximum resistance to every spell in the game. Like Flipendo, Verdimilius, Incendio, Wingardium Leviosa, you name it, they will only deal 1 damage or 2 damage at most with a critical hit if we're lucky. So the intended way of handling this is by letting Buckbeak go ham at Lupin and work from there. But I'm also gonna cheat the system a little bit by using Harry's card combinations. Because he's got these offensive combinations that deal fixed damage to all enemies. In casual gameplay they are worthless because it's 20 damage, like what's that doing? But for this battle it's a secondary means of offense to help Harry out. Now I'm gonna use Fumos on Buckbeak, because this is gonna increase his evasion. The less Buckbeak gets hit, the better. Because if Buckbeak dies on this battle, it's an automatic game over. we cannot let our boy Buckbeak fall down, dude. But yeah, I'm going to assist Buckbeak with the Sonorous Puck Champion charm here, as I like to call it. Sonorous Puck Champion. And hack away a Lupin until he goes away. Look at that big damage from Hermione, good job. That's the most damage she can deal on this battle, actually. So now that Hermione is done supporting Buckbeak, she's just going to be casting Flipendo spells. It's the fastest animation I have, so it's the best I can do here. Okay, let's keep going with the Sonorous Charms. Okay, he's threatening dangerously low on health, so we need to restore his health points. Oh, something Lupin can do is paralyze the target, which is why I grabbed a safety potion way earlier in the game. And a safety anti-paralysis potion to cover that scenario that he's not paralyzing Buckbeak, so the more power to him, I suppose. Right? Okay, I think we have enough juice for 1 more Sonorous Charm. Now we can let Buckbeak take over. Because at this point there is no... using the Sonorous Charm just takes... just drains more time than it saves, because it's such a long animation. And Buckbeak has a really quick slash... really now! Really quick slash Lupin. Please, dude, why do you give me the crits when they don't matter? Go away, Lupin. We don't want you here. Look at that experience, dude. 1200. Delicious. Alright. Now, we gotta save the party from the Dementors. Sirius is about to die. Harry is also unconscious. Who can save us here? Expecto Patronum! It's a giant moose! I guess Harry has some Canadian ancestry. But yeah, that's that. We have saved Buckbeak, saved ourselves. Now we gotta save Sirius from prison. We are now at the prison of Azkaban. Very tight security, as you can tell. Just a few teenagers can just frolic around and release dangerous prisoners. And Hermione has a much friendlier path. Like Harry gets some flamethrowers or whatever that insta-kill him. We just get a simple puzzle with Hermione. Okay, let's keep going. This is the final area, dude. If I get an encounter, they will more than likely kill me. I'm not supposed to be here at these levels. Alright. Now guys, I want you to put some guesses here. In the books, who was was there a final confrontation on Prisoner of Azkaban? In the movie, was there a final confrontation? I don't think so. So who do you think is going to be the final boss of this game? The greatest challenge we needed to pass. It's none other than Draco Malfoy himself. So last obstacle. Oh boy. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is gear in all. This Malfoy is actually pretty ugly on damage. He can deal above 100 damage per hit. So we need... We need to filter that somehow. So, for this battle we're gonna use Wingardium Leviosa. The one battle where this spell is actually useful. Because like Malfoy is like the one boss we can lift who also happens to be weak to the spell. Yeah, this is gonna not take more than a few Wingardium Leviosas. So fun fact, the world record for this game, wow, the world record for this game gets 5 crits on Malfoy. Like when Hermione attacks, she basically gets a crit on every single attack. Like that's why to me the world record is unbeatable. Like you just don't get that kind of RNG as a human being. Also, something fun about Malfoy is that he's one of the very few bosses in the game that uses magic offense. There is actually a distinction between physical damage and magic damage in this game. But there is only 3 enemies that use magic damage. Wow, Malfoy and Crown Goyle. Okay, I was supposed to restore Hermione's MP here, but... I'm going ham, dude! I'm going ham! Okay, maybe I choked. Alright, let's calm down a little bit here. Let's get one more Wingardium Leviosa in there and then we can call it a day. Alright, Malfoy. Go away, dude. Go away. We got a speedrun to complete. Time is after the results screen here. And time. That is done, my friends. We have found... we have Fred Sirius. He was just hanging at the rooftop, I guess. With Buckbeak in tow. And there he goes. Sirius. Goodbye. The hippogriff took off into the air. He and his rider became smaller and smaller as Harry gazed after them. Then a cloud drifted across the moon. They were gone. Alright guys, that is that. That was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for a Game Boy Advance. I mean, I guess he just left us for the Azkaban. We're not gonna worry too much about that. It's magic, it's okay. Alright, that's gonna be it for me tonight, guys. Thank you so much for having me, I'm actually gonna come back tomorrow to do Final Fantasy V before the grand finale for Questing for Glory, so if you guys could stick around tomorrow for that, I would really appreciate that. But you guys were lovely. it was a lot of fun. I am so glad that the Questing for Glory staff allowed me to show off this game, because it looks silly, it looks dumb, but it's really fun, and I love playing this, so I'm very happy that I got to show it off. Thank you so much, guys. That's gonna be it for me today. See ya later.